Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Hello, folks. Well, this is Uncle Tony's first soiree into YouTube videoing, so you'll bear with me. I'm old school. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to give it a shot. For my first video, I don't know if I'm holding this too close to me or not. Guess I'll find out when I edit. But I bought a truck that I've always kind of wanted. Always wanted since I was little. I'm 59. I always wanted an old farm truck, and bear with me, it's a little nasty chilly out here. Been down with the flu for a few days, and it's about 35 degrees, but I had to try to make this film. I always, I'll leave that on, too chilly. Always wanted one of these old farm trucks, and this is a 1959 Ford F500, which means it's a 1.5-ton rear end. And I always wanted something of this nature because my folks, I live here in the Tri-Cities, Washington, and my folks were off the Montana farm, and when I was a little guy, we'd go over there to every harvest in the summer and spend a few weeks with our cousins on the farm, and we'd ride in the old grain trucks and be 6, 7, 8 years old riding in the back of the old grain trucks. And I always wanted one, and I found this one up at Moses Lake, Washington a few months ago, and believe it or not, this is apparently the factory paint. It's got a couple nasty spots, as you can see here, and then up on the top up here is a similar situation as this. Quite a few spots, so I'll have to sand this down and the whole top basically, and I'm going to try to match this paint and just touch it up to match, but I can't see repainting the whole thing. It's just in such, I mean, it's hard to believe that's a factory, but it must be. As you look, nothing's blown over here that I can determine, and all the inside appears the same color, and I believe this is even the factory upholstery, unless I'm mistaken. But it looks like there's only one coat of paint on this bugger from new, so, and the dash is in remarkable condition. But this fella up at Moses Lake had this thing, and I picked it up for $4,500, which might have been a little too much, I don't know. It ran, but not really well. It had done a lot of sitting. I took it to an ag repair place up there and left it for a couple of months, and they did a whole laundry list of things around their around the emergency work they were doing for the farmers, and I just said to just leave it and do this list of stuff as you get a chance, and don't hurry. So that was the arrangement I had with them. And they did, all the fluids, full tune-up, and hoses, belts, brakes, the kind of thing. Drained all the gas, and thermostat, new coolant. Let's pop this hood a minute. I assume you're seeing this if it were framed all right. But at any rate, they put a brand new full carburetor on it. Brand new carburetor, fuel filter, various lines as needed. Battery was in real good shape. thermostat, flushed the coolant system, let's say full tune. We did have to replace the one of the masters here, brake masters. The lid was just destroyed and couldn't get it off, so had to replace this one new, and I believe the slave down there as well. And then a couple of the wheel cylinders. Well, we kitted them all, but replaced one of them. And so she's got brakes. So I drove it home the 70 miles from Moses Lake up there to Pasco here the other evening. And she ran steady the whole way, about 52 miles an hour. And it'll cruise all day at that speed. It felt like I could have gone faster, but there was a little rattling here and there, and I want to have a look at the universal joints, get her up off the ground and have a look at the universal joints and clutch disc and all that before I get going like hell, or at least the U-joints. But real straight, kind of interesting lights here. I'm not sure if these are stock or not, but they're kind of cool. Then I've got some really neat fog lights that I think I'll just double up on these because I've got them, that I got at a yard sale, some really nice ones that got a good buy on. Grill is all in beautiful condition, and I got to figure that this truck been parked in a garage, as farmers generally do with their equipment. Now, what you'll see, she's got brand new rubber here and rims all the way around, all 6 of them. And those, it had the original Widowmakers, they call them, rims, the old 2-piece rims that interlocked and under air pressure would sometimes rust and fail and fly apart catastrophically and cause injury. Anybody that's working on these old trucks or restoring them has to deal with that issue. So I assumed that those were probably what was on it, but I wasn't sure. I did some research online and found a definitive video discussing the difference between split rings and split rims. Really good video. These were the split rims, the actual, I think they call them Firestone RH5s, Widowmakers, the bad ones. And used to be you had to look for years to wrecking yards and call all over hell and try to find a set of rims that would fit your vehicle. Well, now there's a fella here, I was looking on the Ford forums online, and come to find out there's a guy who started his own business addressing that issue for people with these old obsolete rims, and he started a business just in his own shop, messing around, and ended up, now he's got a hell of a big operation and employs a mess of people. And I thought, well, hell, that's probably in Chicago or somewhere like that, you know. And come to find out, then I look at the address on the Ford forum there, and it says Kennewick, Washington, which is about a 10-minute drive here across the river. Oh, folks, one question. I need you to tell me in the comments down below if what you guys think on this. I'm going to rebuild this whole box here, this whole bed new. But you can see that somebody at one point had scooted the whole shebang back, and there's this hell, even with the back racks in, something like this, there's a hell of a big gap in there. And one, it looks a little goofy, and 2, it's just, you know, the longer the rig is, unless it's functional, it just is harder to park and turn and everything. So I'm going to run this guy up to a proper distance from the back of from the cab here. So that being said, and this is kind of a matter of taste, I suppose, since it's more of a toy than an actual work vehicle. But I was thinking about shortening this guy, maybe just back to this stake point, just basically taking this member off and cutting this and welding it on here, and just making it a little shorter than the existing 12-foot bed, making it a 10. As you can see underneath here, it's just extra here. I mean, the old frame, and somebody evidently sawed the old frame off. Tell me if you can figure out what in the heck they were thinking there. That can't be stock. That angle cut there. I know maybe it's handy. It pivots there for the dump, and then this would extend down damn near to the ground. But anyway, let me know if you think I ought to just leave it alone, rebuild it at this dimension, or if I ought to shorten her up a skosh. So let's start this old bugger up. And it had originally had your old manual throttle and manual choke, but they pulled the old carburetor and tossed it and bolted on a brand new carb at the shop last month. So I've just got, you know, you just hit her once to the floor. That sets the automatic choke, and see how she starts. It's alive. Somebody put an aftermarket tack. I'll probably take that off just because, I don't know, maybe I'll leave it, I don't know. It's just not stock, and what the hell do you need a tack in this old truck for? I can hear it. I understand equipment. I know when I need to shift gears. So, I don't know. I may or may not. I'm just going to keep these existing. Apparently the fuel gauge works. The speedo works, although she hops. I'm just going to lube hell out of the gauge itself. I'm going to get back, clean it, and lube the cable and whatnot. The temp gauge, I'm not sure if that works. I don't think it does, but I'm going to put new sending units in that, and then the oil pressure, and just replace all those that I can to get them working. Just, you know, stock is fine with me, just an idiot light. Somebody had to, at some point, as you can see over there, put in some old ugly aftermarket, probably 1970s gauges or something, and I don't believe they even work. So I'm just gonna, I don't like them. They don't match the truck. They're coming out. So anyway, I'm gonna pull around the front of the house so I can get to it. Oh, one thing too, and you might let me know below if you guys have a better understanding of a PTO drive on the dump bed. I saw a video, and well, hello folks, Uncle Tony of Uncle Tony's Garage here, or Uncle Tony's Truck Stop. I think that's what we'll call the YouTube channel. We are setting our MapQuest because I can't find my ass with both hands most of the time. We're going to take Big Red, the 59 Ford F500, down to Bonnie and Clyde's Muffler in Pasco, Washington, for a new muffler, and you'll soon learn why we're going down there. See you. Just got the new mirrors put on her. And she needs a muffler. So here we go. We'll stop for gas. I don't know if you can hear the audio over the engine. We're heading down to the muffler shop. I got to get a windshield wiper arm for the left-hand side, and got headliner and all kinds of goodies to put in here. I got a cool steering, old retro eBay steering knob, and so forth. Well, Big Red's in the doctor shop here, getting her muffler on. Just at the tail end of the day here. This camera keeps shutting off on me. I'm not sure what that's about. It's a different, maybe my battery's low. Get my glasses on here. Yeah, that might be it. 35%. Okay, off to the store for now.